As we listen to our successful implementation process, I hope we can gather some ideas to consider incorporating it at Cornell. Without further ado, please join me in welcoming Dr. Mijeong Mimi Kim.
Okay, thank you very much for the wonderful introduction. And I'm very glad to be here. I went to college not too far from here. I went to SUNY Binghamton many years ago. So I was looking forward to visiting upstate New York in a beautiful fall day, and it didn't disappoint me today. So today I'm going to talk about the topic of this. And this, before starting my talk yesterday, this popped up on my phone. And I thought like, oh my goodness, I'm going to be out of job. And then I read through the article, and I'm going to share the little summary of this. And I felt a little better because what they are talking about is what we are going to talk about today. The core essence of the UTA program is about this. So they are talking about, well, this is really text-heavy slide. This is the only one. So the AI professor potential is 24/7 with vast knowledge. And before starting, the secret in academia is professors are not trained to teach. So they are great researchers with a vast knowledge, but sometimes they are not good teachers. And that's where AI comes in with vast knowledge, and they can cater to personalized with the evidence-based instruction. And they teach both content knowledge and durable skills. And then continuously updated. That's the magic of AI. And then but it requires closed system with the human oversight. And the revolving role of a human professor, according to the article, was to shift from lecturing to mentorship and relationship building and community and emotional connection. And if you look at these keywords, and the role of teachers becoming coaches and facilitators from knowledge dispensers. So future model should be collaboration between AI and the teachers. And in my view, I would like to use AI as a powerful tool, but the core highlighted focus are the focus that we are talking about today about undergraduate TA integration in our program. The mentorship, human relation, the instant feedback, and so on. So today I will be covering these topics about UTA. I call it UTA, Undergraduate TA program. So quickly going through, every semester I do intake survey, course intake for first year students. And I ask motivation and goals. So motivation for heritage students and non-heritage students. In WashU, we don't have a separate track. In Korean program, Chinese program offers a separate track for heritage and non-heritage, but we don't. So, but then it was important for me to figure out the motivation for heritage students and foreign language students. And so I will have a summary at the end. So if you look at it, the Korean heritage students, Korean foreign language students, the motivations are similar, but they are definitely different focus. The goals and priorities, heritage language students and foreign language students are different. So if you look at the summary, so motivation for heritage students, they want to focus on identity connection through language, and intergenerational bridge. They want to be able to communicate freely with their grandparents and their family and friends. And then they also like to bridge the conversational to career and academic language. So it comes up again here. For foreign language students, they are into cultural exploration, especially with the popularity of K-drama, K-pop, K-beauty, technology, K everything. So they are definitely into that. And they're into global connectivity. I think that's a landmark characteristics of a Generation Z students. They are more globally connected, and they also want to have academic and career aspect focus there. So goals are for heritage students, they want to improve their linguistic accuracy and ability to bridge conversational and academic Korean. For foreign language students, they want communicative fluency and cultural competence, okay? So instructional focus should be, focus or emphasis should be systematic refinement of their language and professional discourse development, and the foreign language students, experiential engagement, immersive setting, that's ideal setting they were talking about. So tailor instructional strategies for Korean heritage students be accuracy, and then KFL students for immersion. But how can you do this? In reality, it's really hard to meet both needs. So one of the ways that I wanted to bridge that discrepancy was through integrating peer undergraduate students into language program. So to give you a little background, just preaching to the choir here, but the benefit of peer tutoring and mentoring are studied extensively, and they are shown to boost oral proficiency, reading, writing, and learner confidence, and benefit both tutors and then 2Ds. So the helpers and students who get helped are mutually benefited from this experience, and they are shown to be effective for English language learners and diverse classroom, and including learners with the additional needs. And but the most impactful, the peer tutoring, mentoring are most impactful. It shows that when it's structured, ongoing, and embedded in classroom activities. So another piece of framework that I looked at was experiential learning aspect. So experiential learning is learning which result from coming together of experience of a certain quality with meaningful reflection. So through critical reflection and collaborative relationship, I'm not going to delve too much into the framework, but I am looking at these two aspects when integrating undergraduate TAs into our curriculum. So the rationale for this undergraduate TA or this increased enrollments in Korean language and persistent staffing shortage, because for first 12 years of my career at WashU, I was the only Korean faculty. So I had to meet everyone's need from first level to advanced fourth, fifth level. And I felt sorry for the students who have to see me every single day. We have 5 days a week for multiple years. So I needed to come up with some great idea that can spare my students seeing me all the time. And why undergraduate assistant? To alleviate instructor burden. But then most important reason was I didn't have access to graduate students. But then I figured out that having undergrad students were actually more effective in some respect. So let's talk about diversity. I know that's a dirty word sometimes these years, but that's reality. So we have cultural demographic diversity we are familiar with, and we have a neurodiversity like autism and ADHD. Increasing number of students come to us with this. And then psychological diversity, motivational, emotional, mental health issues are pretty frequent these days. And then cognitive, achievement levels, language ability, and learning preferences. And then generation. We are facing Gen Zs like you do. And in 6 years or 7 years, we are going to face a new generation, Alpha. So we are keep having this generation shift with the distinct characteristics of learning. So, and then common challenges language classrooms. frequently, limited meaningful interactions because we are focused on curriculum, especially lower level, and then limited access to native speakers like Cornell and WashU, which is in Midwest, St. Louis. We have no access to the large Korean population locally. So we are quite isolated. So we have to be self-sufficient in supplying native speakers. And learner anxiety is a quite frequent issue that we face with students, and restricted input sources. We have textbook-based input and input sources is the teacher. So that is quite limited. So, so for specific challenges that we are facing in Korean language, again, high demand in Korean language program nationwide and critical need for alleviating staffing shortage. Actually, it's true in every institution. I mean, I'm happy to report you right now, I'm no longer the only faculty. We have 4 full-time language faculty at WashU in Korean program. Still, we need more to meet this diverse student need. And then foster diverse learning environment for students. I mean, students come with different learning preferences these days and different focuses. And I think it's important to address that as best as we can. And provide a cultural immersion and experiential learning opportunity for both learners and later for UTAs. So again, in WashU, the first year students, we have 90% come from ethnic minority group. And then 15% are heritage students. These are the heritage students in first year, so they have not much language except few words and expressions. So these are, so why do we, what are the goals or objectives integrating UTAs in our program? Was to increase interactions of students, language learners with native speakers or advanced language speakers. And then linguistic and cultural development, because it can foster understanding of Korean culture through meaningful interaction, and enable natural communication in real life context. Even though they are working on project in the class, it's still real real interaction, real communication, not textbook based or pattern based. Provide personalized feedback and authentic cultural insights. So personalized feedback, because the students, the UTAs can interact with students right there, and they respond differently for students with different needs. And social emotional benefit, increase motivation and confidence for students later toward the end. I will share my survey that I did my Korean language students, which clearly articulate that aspect. And reduce anxiety through peer mentorship. My feelings a little bit hurt, but they really enjoy interacting with their peers more than the teachers all the time. But, that's understandable. And foster lasting cross-cultural friendship. And this was sort of unintended by product of this process, which was really wonderful. That students frequently, like we use a lot of international students as UTAs, they were sort of isolated amongst themselves, and they have, their roommates and, friends in the dorm, but they felt a little isolated themselves. So by doing this, they actually met a lot of students from diverse backgrounds who are interested in Korean culture and language, and that just formed instant common interest and formed lasting friendship. So many of them, our foreign language students, will go to study abroad during summer or semester. They will meet up with their UTAs and have shared cultural experience, which is invaluable. It is hard to forge that kind of relationship, and create supportive learning environment. And community building, I mentioned again, this was a very important aspect. Create supportive engagement opportunities for native Korean speakers and Korean language learners, and strengthen belonging and collaboration. These days, the sense of belonging is important, especially in language classroom. If you don't feel like you belong, it's hard to communicate or interact with people. Um, so, and then, so what's the UTA impact on these? So we talked about impact on Korean language students already. So increased meaningful interactions, enhanced the cultural awareness, and then improved the motivation, engagement, and greater confidence in speaking because they are not talking to the faculty, they're talking to their peers, and they feel more natural and not as anxious. So what's impact on UTAs? So they gain valuable experiential learning opportunities, and then enhance cultural and language proficiency. This was really unexpected, but UTAs repeatedly said that they gained, improved their knowledge on Korean because they speak Korean without really thinking about it, and they had to go back and figure out why the rules and grammars. They really appreciated that aspect of it. And also, many of the international students these days go through schooling in the US or Canada from junior high. It's a common. And they actually wanted to maintain their language as well for professional purposes. And the skill development in teaching and mentoring, that is an important aspect for a lot of our UTAs. And increased intercultural competence, professional growth, and personal fulfillment. And impact on Korean language and program and faculty, enhance program capacity to serve more students in meaningful way, and improve the support for instructors and teaching effectiveness, and innovation in teaching practices. And this strengthened Korean program reputation and student satisfaction. So this was very positive all around. Oh, so I just like to highlight one of the roles, important roles that our UTAs play in Korean program is their role in interactive language lab. We have a weekly language lab. This can be easily set up in any of the language classes. If you just designated a session, you can do regular or you can do bi-weekly, but it could be a more of an interactive session that you design. And for Korean program at WashU, for first and second level, we do it weekly on Fridays because that's when active learning language classrooms are most available. So we do on Fridays, and they do active participation as a language partner, like conversation partner, collaborate with instructors. I will explain that later, and oversee and participate in student interactive learning experience, and they also create dynamic student-centered environment and provide authentic language input and cultural insight. And peer learning really thrives alongside the formal instruction because I provide a formal instruction side of it, and then it becomes interactive. So peer learning provides powerful resource, and here foster authentic and collaborative atmosphere, and it encourages risk taking. Even the quietest student become very active during this lab, and frequently our students don't leave language lab after class ended. We have to chase them out. And promote meaningful cultural exchange. That's a very powerful byproduct. So if you look at this image, I just had to hide their faces. It's not a full picture, but you don't know who's TA, who's student. They are frequently moving around. They have to find a different person to interview or interact with. So this is TA. Frequently, you can't even see who's the instructor. Frequently, there are multiple UTAs, multiple teachers, and multi-level classes because the ALC rooms can accommodate large number of students. This room accommodates about 60. So we combine two classes, first and second level. So here, program overview, we have about 8 to 12 UTAs per semester. It's harder to manage if you have more. 8 is ideal number. But when there's a large number of applicants, strong applicants, we take up to 12. And then native speakers or advanced language students. We have had UTAs who are majors, so who started Korean as a first year, and then by senior year, they are enrolled in fourth year, so they can serve as UTA. Enrolled in credit-bearing UTA course. So it's not paid position, but it's a UTA course. And they are selected through online application and interview. And they work up to 2 hours. I put 3 hours because sometimes you go a little bit over. Experiential learning opportunity, I just coming back again and again. It's a really important aspect. And training, there are twofolds. I mean, this one is really sort of simple, college-wide Canvas module that every undergraduate TA or undergraduate mentors have to go through. They say it's about half an hour. But then the real training happens in Korean language program. And I will show you how we do in WashU, because it's a tricky balance between the quality that I strive for and then the time commitment burdens on students and faculty alike. So language lab support interactive roles, I talked about the language lab, weekly lab. That's the one aspect. So they 3 to 5 UTAs work with 15 to 30 students at the same time with 2 instructors in each language lab. So that ensures frequent, like adequate interaction between the undergraduate TAs and the language students. And they do task-based, they participate in task-based activities, guide a project, project-based activities, and engage in the practice activities with students. So some students who would just practice pronunciation extensively or conversation, or they can even check. We have like dictation sections, so they can check the dictation and help the students with the spelling and it's a very practical feedback, but they need to be done right away. But then if they're only teachers or faculty, it's hard to address that, that aspect. So they can do performance participant and then conversational partner, interviewee. They work as an interviewee sometimes, and written word checker during the lab. And they also do one-on-one conversation practice outside the class. That's an additional responsibility. So we usually schedule maybe 1 hour or 2 hours lab. And if we have TAs who only work 1 hour, we'll schedule them with conversation partner. So we try not to go over 2 hours. We only give 1 credit. Actually, it's a flexible credit structure, so we can do 1 to 3 credits, but I don't think going more than 1 credit is healthy because of the workload it involves. Separate program through university. I think most of the universities have this. Through university, they have a peer mentor program. It's university hires the students to lead group tutor session for different subjects. And I just contacted them and made a Korean peer mentor program as well, because some students couldn't work out the schedule, but they are willing to work with the peer tutor through University Learning Center. And that's a separate from Korean program, but we consult and screen the peer tutors for the university program as well. So here, UTA role in WashU. So the Korean specific here. So it's a non-paid 1-credit course structure, and they are selected through application interview, and they tutor, and just a summary, an interactive language lab session, and they participate in cultural events. You know, we have like 3 times a semester, 2 to 3 times, and they come and be with other language students, make kimbap and do craft and things like that. So same structure in Chinese program. This is to show you how you can adapt according to the need of your language program. So for Chinese program, they have 1 to 3 credit non-paid UTA enrolled in course, but they only use them as a one-on-one speaking practice session, because Chinese program at WashU, they require 15-minute weekly conversation. Before they had a lot of many graduate students, they fulfilled that role. They no longer have that many graduate students. So they shifted the role to undergraduate, and it's a part of their curriculum. So 15-minute conversation sessions. And they also have them grade homework. Korean program doesn't allow undergraduate grading other undergraduates' homework. And they working hour vary, because the credit, they can get more credits. So here it's a summary. So we student interactions with UTA are focused mainly on language lab, interactive language lab sessions and conversation practice one-on-one. For interactions, we do it on Canvas. We set up UTA course, and that's where we communicate, and we post lab material review and questions if there's any, and one-on-one session reports on discussion board, and Friday interactive lab itself, because the faculty are there with UTAs. So we are modeling and interacting with UTAs at the same time. And if UTAs have questions, we are right there. And it's a very efficient, I find very efficient, time efficient methodology, because you give instant feedback, not only to learning Korean language students, but TAs as well. And so we have pre and mid-semester meeting. Pre-semester meetings easier to have as a group meeting, because it's before semester begins, we can gather everyone and talk about plans and training materials and important things. And in this meeting, we also have UTA leader who has served before in a senior setting, can share do's and don'ts. It's fairly important. And post-semester meeting and mid-semester meeting can be either small group meeting. It's hard to schedule everyone at the same time. So it could be a quick individual 15-minute check-in kind of thing, or group, whoever can meet at the same time. So it's a multiple meetings. So that's when other faculty in your program can help. So they can take on 1 or 2 meetings in that way, because they are in the lab as well during Friday lab. So how do we integrate effectively? So integration strategies. So you integrate UTAs into curriculum in some way. So for Korean case, it's the language lab, interactive lab. It's a lab, but it's really not the traditional lab. It's more of an activity-based performance class. Low pressure, low anxiety. Students really do enjoy it. And the amount of practice that's done during the period is a lot. I mean, it's a lot more work than usual regular classroom. Students actually pull their hair out by 10 slides, but it's enjoyable. It's less stressful. And Chinese program, they integrated one-on-one as part of their regular curriculum, 15-minute weekly, but everyone has to sign up if you are enrolled in first and second or third level Chinese class. And then robust recruitment process that is developed. You have to have a comprehensive, really wide, casting net widely kind of system. Identify and select highly motivated and culturally competent students. And then and you also look at teaching potential and interpersonal skills, really helpful. But we have students who are introverted. A later slide will show these students actually apply to become tutor of the UTAs to increase their intercultural, interpersonal abilities. And I thought that was really interesting. Coming from students, they recognized they need to improve this skill. So they wanted to become UTA. And at the end of semester, the student commented, and it was really wonderful to see that as well. And then implement systematic training. So it has to be balanced between the quality and time commitment. So come up with different ways that doesn't really burden both faculty and student too much. So it's use of a Canvas system, the discussion board, and then during the lab, interactive feedback evaluation, and that's very efficient and very effective as well. Oh, and also we make the learning, the PowerPoints. Usually our students get, the language students get a Friday PowerPoints. So TAs, UTAs will get it at least a day in advance. So they have a chance to look over. And if they have a question at the beginning of the class, they approach faculty and quickly clarify what they don't understand, or they can leave comments on Canvas. So recruiting TAs, selection criteria, we mentioned it already. Strong Korean language proficiency, because some students these days go through schooling in the States from like elementary school. So we need to really talk to them and see if their Korean proficiency is at that level. And excellent interpersonal skills and motivation and cultural competence. And active recruitment strategies, you do targeted outreach through Korean student associations. We have two big ones, Korean Student Association and Korean International Student Society. So those are very important resource. And then social media campaign. I am member of all the student groups now. And then recommendation from faculty and current UTAs. In online application, I used to use Google Form. I used to, long time ago, use a Survey Monkey, but I now use Google Form or Qualtrics and interview process. And I usually invite other faculty to come and sit in the interview so that we have some consensus building, whom to choose, because we all have to work with the students. And the incentive will be a lot of students want to develop their interpersonal and teaching skills. And then academic credit is sometimes enticing. And community, they want to build friendships with this new group of people. And service certificate recommendations guaranteed if you are UTA. And communication structure, mentorship, dedicated faculty mentor per level, because everyone, like if you are in Korean program, first and second level students, we do language interactive lab. So all the faculty teaching this level be involved and become mentors as well. an online platform like course canvas for modules and discussions, and then peer support. So I mentioned it earlier, UTA leader who has served before in senior standing will act as a leader. And sometimes in the past, they even made a schedule, but it was too much work. So we are doing the schedule. But they can pretty much do do's and don'ts. And this is effective when I tried it. If you have that kind of student, this was great. That kind of experience sharing. And regular meeting and feedback. So regular meeting, I talked about advanced preparation material like PowerPoint, they are given ahead of time. So they have time to look over real-time instructor collaboration in language lab or in class. So we are right there with them. So we provide personalized feedback to UTAs too. So we are practicing what we preach with these students. And feedbacks, weekly one-on-one session report, I will show you example. It's really short, but then it's great to comment and evaluate. I mean, not much of evaluation, but accountability. And also if they have a question, it's a great place to post so that other UTAs also get to see. Peer learning and mentoring, the group leaders. So here are the canvas. We just put the textbook and all the materials. And these are the weekly PPT. They are posted according to the level. So each class, faculty would post this at least a day. So by Thursday, most of us post it by Wednesday. So students will have time to look over these PowerPoints. And then these are the comments, the one-on-one session report. This is a pre-pandemic. Pre-pandemic, they were longer. Look at this. So they will write this, and the red is the comment provided by the faculty. So if they have a question and concern, this is how we addressed it. Post-pandemic, when we moved it to discussion board, this was much shorter. And this year, it's a little bit longer. It's just, I guess it depends on the student, but everyone provided important information that we needed to know. It takes about 5 minutes to write, unless you have extensive question. And then this is the feedback provided by the teacher. One of our faculty were really like, he said, thank you for the great report. And then he made a long comments. And that scared the UTAs, like, what did I do wrong? He was being very thorough. And so this is the structure. So it doesn't take, once you set up the system, it doesn't take a whole lot of time. Okay, it just need to do it consistently. So consistency is important. So feedback on training and mentoring, the student said, this is what the meetings and interactions with the instructor before, during, and after classes provided very helpful. Okay. Additionally, receiving the class activity PowerPoint slides was both very helpful and effective for preparation and student support, because you need to know what you are going to do. And this person says pretty much same thing. And they even suggested, this is a suggestion from UTA, UTA introduction unit. Why don't you make a unit at the beginning of the semester where we do poster session? Each UTA will do poster session, and language students come around and ask a question and leave a comment kind of thing, so that they build a rapport more quickly. So that was it. And then they wanted regular group meetings, but they are very busy. So we cannot have an entire group meeting. So this is a student reaction to reactions of working with UTA. And I'm going to just show you they all agreed speaking, listening, so it improves interaction, boosts the oral skills. So, look at that. And then it UTA sessions improve grammar accuracy and expand vocabulary through interaction. And session boosts motivation by reducing the anxiety. That's what students said. And interactions build the student confidence by again, anxiety, 92% said that. And then 97% said overall, UTA program was very valuable. We have like one student who always says no to everything, and it kind of showed up here. So benefit of having UTA, immediate support. You can provide immediate support and feedback. And these are students saying they provide immediate feedback, provide immediate help, which is important. I think it's important for language learners to have this immediate feedback to their burning questions so that they don't make same mistakes repeatedly. And natural language and cultural insight offer more natural perspective on language and to hear more native speakers. They value that experience quite a bit. And they want to practice colloquial Korean, not textbook Korean. And the personalized attention, the professor, this hurt me a little bit, but professor may not always have a capacity to address all students individually. And during the lab, at least, UTAs fill that role. And similar age makes with them less intimidating, which is pretty true, and little to no judgment. And students feel comfortable practicing with their similar age peers. And beneficial to hear peer for Korean conversation, and they appreciate it, UTAs closer to their age. And again, limited number of professors not being able to address their questions and need right away. And being a positive atmosphere of learning. That's what students said. So how about UTAs? The motivation before starting, the UTAs said, motivations for working as UTAs, cultural and educational passion. I mean, they enjoy working with students who want to learn Korean language and the culture, and meaningful contribution through the direct student engagement, which is rare. It's rare actually, even on college campuses. And experiential learning value, facilitating learning and developing student engagement skills and gaining insight into language acquisition process. And we also had few non-native UTAs. Their perspective was for valuable insights and practical advice for these language learners. And they serve as excellent role models for language learners, if nothing else. So the postmaster here, these are the UTA comments. They say, enhanced my vocabulary, formal grammar. Okay. And then they gained insights into the second language acquisition process and maintain and improve my own Korean language because they went through schooling in the States. And they want to explore and learn more about Korean language and culture as part of being UTA and foster my academic and cultural growth. I'm just pointing out keywords. And they said it was as a linguistics major. I had a couple linguistics major who really were delighted in witnessing students' learning progress firsthand, not just from books and professors. So with this, they gained direct experience working with students and testing different engagement teaching strategies during the lab time and one-on-one. And then cultural understanding and exchange with students were really fun and important to them. And they were deeply moved by students' enthusiasm and dedication of learning their language and culture. And they gained experience in student interaction and instruction. This comes up over and over again. This is the emerging theme. and overcome. This was it. Serving as UTA offered opportunities for regular interaction with students and professors, helping me overcome my introverted nature and learn to engage more effectively with others. So this was totally unexpected comment that UTA mentioned. Cultural understanding, I did this, develop teaching skills. That's another one that comes up. And interact with students from diverse background, which is kind of difficult to do if you are confined into your own little world on campus. So it was a transformational educational impact because this person, they are shifting or rethinking their academic goal after this experience. And then this person learned to see Korean language from learner perspective, which was pretty powerful, and explore teaching. This person decided to explore teaching after graduation. So I think this is quite transformative. So, so what's the impact on UTAs from engaging summary, valuable experiential learning, and collaborative supportive environment creation? And then they enhance the language understanding on themselves, intercultural competence development, and teaching and leadership skills. These are really beneficial. So all of you here, advanced students, consider being undergraduate TAs. It's a really meaningful and rewarding experience. Every single of them said when they are graduating, this was one of their highlights in their college career. And the challenges, I mean, we went through every single of them are challenges. So recruitment, we need to find outstanding students. Mentoring, a systematic mentoring structure is important. Coordination between the faculty and UTA is important. And time commitment, balancing the academic the burden and faculty burden also that needs to be balanced. And training, efficient time saving training sessions is important. Retention, sometimes we don't have a choice, they graduate. So we can retain, I can ask them to stay behind to become UTAs. But then retention sometimes comes in form of, you know, other commitment and all that. So that's why burden, the adjustment is important. We cannot ask our students to work like so many hours for us. And assessment and faculty collaboration with other faculty colleagues, coordinating collaboration is important. So conclusion, as we have watched it, or I talked about, these are the important benefit of having UTAs. So enhancing language skills, boosting motivation, providing experiential learning experience for UTAs, fostering intercultural competence, building community, and enhancing program stability and instructor support. So I think this is it. Thank you for listening. You have any questions, comments?
Wonderful, Mimi. Thank you so much for presenting this very innovative way of integrating undergraduates and making your life maybe a little bit easier and engaging the students more. Are there any questions either on Zoom land or in the audience here? Of course, Mijeong has a question.
She always has a question.
Thank you very much for inspiring presentation. I have a couple of questions. Just please correct me if I understood wrong. So this interactive lab is under the official, like a course, right?
So we meet 5 times a week.
Mm.
So 4 times we just do the regular classroom setting. the Friday sessions occur in active learning classroom.
Mm.
If I can get that, but I've been able to get it every semester for past 15 years. It might change in the future. But if I don't get the active learning classroom, it can still be done in the classroom setting as a student groups. And
And it seems like a mixture of like a tutoring and also conversation hours, because there are a lot of different activities going on, because depending on students, they choose like a pronunciation practice, and then just a communicative and skill improvement, and other like a games, and making food together kind of thing. So is it like in one session and they do different things, or do you have like a different days that you have different sessions? Because then like for example at Cornell, then we give daily grade for each like daily sessions. Then how would you like give grades to the students who attended? Is like a based on like just a participation or performance, then how would you do?
okay, I don't give daily grades because I think it really stresses students too much. So I don't, but we do have different the assessment activities like oral presentations and things like that. But for during the lab, it's mixture. Sometimes I try to at least mix one in every session. There are like conversation creation, and then they have to kind of have a conversation with their friend. Or we have, I was trying to access the link, PowerPoint, the link, but I failed. I was going for this covered, I want the first one.
Uh-huh. Here, which one?
First one,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, I see. Okay.
So they have like, it's a mixture of sometimes grammar review and then dictation, mundane things, or conversation practice. So this is one set of slide I brought. So they look at these and they, this is a beginning level. So they have to like do this. So have your answers checked by 선생님 or TA, okay? And so this is a conversation partner, write a conversation and have a partner record. And also before recording, some students want to make sure that they are doing right. So they will approach the TA and then have their conversation checked. I don't mind because they are practicing in the lab. And then they are making, this is beginning students, so they are doing this and 부터까지 an example presentation, and you present it to TA or 선생님. And then we also incorporated metaverse and they explore 선생님's room for location of objects, and they actually become conversation partners for this one. They are like, how Kim 선생님 has too many posters, or she drinks a lot of Coke kind of thing. And it's still a practice unstructured. So I don't like giving grades, but for conversation, sometimes it's sort of a structured ones. They have a link to the Canvas assignment page, and they upload their recording, and it's balanced, and it's like homework grade.
So I was just asking because like a busy Cornell students won't go to attend the like very good session, even if it is really well structured, if we don't give daily grades. So
This is a
that's why, and
class.
also like tutoring and like a conversation hours, it's kind of optional. So at Cornell, we also have those in the systems, but the students not go there a lot. And so, I don't know how to attract the students to do it again. Yeah.
But this is a regular class session.
Yeah. But you check attendance.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, check attendance, but don't give daily grades.
No.
That's just a
No.
way.
So we don't have language requirement at WashU. So I think the students are pretty motivated to come 5 days a week to study. So, but this is considered, I mean, this is a regular class, Monday through Friday. Only Friday we do this.
I see. And also the teacher, the faculty members who are there together, they're there for like giving feedback to UTAs, not for the students who are learning.
We actually work with students like UTA.
Mm.
We are addressing students and also looking out for UTAs.
Mm,
So that's why having too many of them in one session is not good for me.
I see.
Having maybe 2, 3.
Yeah.
If it's a big class, we have if it's combined, we have up to 4, 5. But then there are 2 of us. So first level and second level instructor. So we know what we are. They have different sets of PowerPoints. So we know what we are looking for in the practice. So if a UTA is doing something other than what we intended, we can quickly,
Yeah, it seems like it is really good for UTAs as well, giving feedback and for their like a future like improvement.
and
Yes.
make friends.
Yes.
We do have a question from Zoom. One of our Japanese colleagues is asking, how do you evaluate the UTAs? Is it a pass fail? Do they get a grade?
It's a pass-fail course, but then on Canvas, we have attendance tracker. And then also for that, the one-on-one report. So it's a pass-fail. So we don't really give a letter grade. And sometimes I'm rethinking the assessment as a whole. Is it really necessary other than getting A's for student transcript? Sometimes I feel like for some activities, they learn better without this grade.
And actually, what we heard over lunch with one of our colleagues from our Learning Strategy Center at Cornell, she mentioned that for the peer tutors who are taking a 1-credit class while they are learning how to become a tutor, it's been better when a grade is assigned as opposed to doing it pass fail. So I think it always depends on the local context to see what is happening. We do have undergraduate students in the audience here today. And before I let everybody go on their merry Monday evening, maybe today's Monday, I would be really interested in hearing from you all. What do you think about this? Is this something that you would be interested in, or you're absolutely no way I would be interested in serving as a TA in my Korean class? What are your thoughts? And we're using the microphone so that people on Zoom can hear us. Do we have a brave soul?
I think it'd be interesting. I've taught like in Korean schools before, but it was mainly for like younger students, so like elementary school or younger. So I think it'd be interesting to be able to teach Korean to someone who is more my age and be able to have like a more formal discussion. And I think having that as like a class as well is also really motivating since it'll be more than just like a extracurricular involvement, but it's more like academic sense as well, since it's a class and it's like credit that I receive for it. So I think it's a good idea. And if you guys set it up in Cornell, then I think I'd be interested in joining as well.
I saw him nodding earlier. You have any comments? No pressure.
Well, I'll definitely be interested, but as someone from a really challenging major, I highly doubt if I have enough time to commit 5 days a week.
No, it's not 5 days a week. You only come 1 day a week
Oh, really?
on
I
Fridays.
didn't know that. Oh, yeah, that's good. I would love it.
So, no, you have to be selected. You apply.
Are there any other comments or questions for Mimi? Sam, is there anything else on Zoom? Nope. Okay. Well, help me one more time in thanking Mimi for this wonderful presentation.
And thank you, my pleasure.
And we look forward to seeing you for our next speaker in November. So enjoy your Monday evening. Thank you.